The episode opens immediately with the arrival of Mr. Harold Jenkins, identifying himself as an inspector with the Explorers Society. He expresses his desire for Noel's full cooperation. Noel greets him warmly, offering a refreshing beverage. Upon sampling it, Harold is thoroughly delighted. Noel explains that the beverage's production facility helps sustain his finances, a fortunate inheritance from his grandfather. Harold observes that Noel possesses a knack for personnel management and business operations. Noel mentions his intention to soon transition away from direct oversight, entrusting matters to his capable staff. Harold then inquires about the reason for his summons, as Noel had already furnished him with all available details concerning the catastrophe that befell his village. In response, Harold produces a photograph, taken just recently, asserting with conviction that it portrays the very individual accountable for the devastation of Noel's home. Noel contemplates this new information, confessing a lingering suspicion that the man survived, given the conspicuous absence of two key elements that fateful day: the man's remains and his grandfather's battle axe. He asks Harold if this individual has ever been vanquished. Harold details how a substantial contingent attempted to subdue him, but were utterly annihilated. Even the deployment of a top-tier dragon proved futile, as the man had already slipped into the void. He elaborates that while most creatures are compelled to breach this realm by an overwhelming impulse, this particular man appears to operate with complete autonomy. This, he reminds Noel, is the same entity who triumphed over the Great One, over death. Harold proposes that Noel's first-hand knowledge may prove instrumental in locating the man once more, potentially within the depths of the 13th layer. He cautions Noel about the possibility of this man ascending to the ranks of the Valiant Elite, a cadre of abyssal lords at the 13th level. Each of these 10 Lords of Darkness commands sufficient power to obliterate the world. The last instance of such a manifestation occurred 4 decades prior. At that time, the only recourse was to forcibly banish the afflicted valley back into the void. As Noel grasps the renewed peril this man poses to humanity, their discussion concludes, and Harold remarks on the striking resemblance between Noel's eyes and those of his grandfather. Harold discloses his grandfather's leadership of the Crimson Blade Alliance and their close bond. This, he reveals, is the true impetus for his meeting with Noel. Harold then notes that Noel will reach his 15th year soon, qualifying him for the Explorers Society examination. Noel confidently proclaims his ambition to become the most formidable explorer. Later, Noel rejoins Alma and Koga, who inquire about the nature of his exchange with the inspector. Koga voices his apprehension over a potential misstep during the inspector's presence, fearing rejection from the society. They've been told that offending an inspector can result in immediate disqualification. Just then, Harold reappears, informing them that their clan's dwelling will function as their base of operations, and they will be granted 20 million Veil. Despite their limited track record, Harold assures them of his unwavering confidence in their capabilities. The group responds with an eager declaration of their strength and willingness to undertake any task. Harold then asks about their intended clan name. Noel suggests Azure Skyline, but the inspector rejects their application for clan establishment. Instead, he recounts the tale of a man who single-handedly slew a colossal dragon. This man, he reveals, is the second in command of the Regalia clan, a one-star assembly renowned as the Empire's most powerful. His name is Zeke Van Stein. Finally, Harold divulges the actual reason: the pressing need for stronger explorers. He explains that fulfilling the prerequisites for clan formation alone is insufficient to guarantee approval. The inspector then shares a highly classified piece of information. A substantial mana convergence has been detected west of the Empire. The subterranean mana river is approaching a critical juncture, poised for imminent eruption. Noel inquires about the remaining time, to which the inspector replies, 1 year. Upon detonation, it will generate a massive chasm, unleashing a rank 13 abyssal monster lord, an unstoppable force. The underground conduits, he clarifies, resemble circulatory vessels, and any disruption will trigger devastating tremors, rendering the land uninhabitable. Do we have any chance of prevailing? Noel asks. Alma responds with unwavering assurance, reminding them of their triumph over Coquitos, the silverfish, the very reason the Empire currently flourishes. She emphasizes their imperative to commit fully to this impending struggle. However, she acknowledges that the Regalia's elite explorers, including the top-ranked High Dragon, the second-ranked Cavern of the Cosmos, and the third-ranked Blade Flash, will also be participating. Yet, even with this formidable alliance, victory remains uncertain. Therefore, the Society urgently seeks clans capable of providing immediate assistance, leaving no opportunity for novices like Noel's team. Visibly agitated, Noel angrily declares that if they don't meet the standards, they won't partake in the battle, abruptly departing. As he leaves, the inspector observes him, murmuring his high hopes for Noel's future. Outside, Koga confronts Noel, questioning his rejection of the proposition and abandonment of their clan application. "You're abandoning your aspirations," Koga exclaims. Noel assures him that this is far from the truth. Rather, it represents a unique chance for rapid advancement. He clarifies that while the advent of a valiant poses a grave threat to humankind, it simultaneously presents an immense opportunity. He cites their victory over Coquitos, whose demise propelled the empire into an era of prosperity. Coquitos's heart, he explains, was transformed into a device capable of producing limitless potable water. Subduing powerful monsters, Noel explains, not only averts catastrophic threats but also advances the empire's magical engineering. This is why explorers are lauded as heroes. They transmute unparalleled disasters into advantages. Koga suggests the necessity of joining Regalia without delay, but Noel disagrees, pointing out their current lack of clan status, which they are unlikely to achieve in time. Alma interjects, reminding Noel of his previous assertion that they would join Regalia within a year. "Then we'll accomplish it in half that time," she proclaims. Koga is astonished by the prospect of joining Regalia in a mere 6 months. Noel reassures them, outlining a strategy to achieve substantial outcomes and enhance their standing in the months to come. Ideally, he states, they could secure prominent roles in the Valiant campaign and cement their legacies as the most powerful explorers. Noel underscores his team's potential. Koga, an unparalleled swordsman from the distant east, Alma, the descendant of a renowned slayer, and himself, the grandson of Overdeath. Nevertheless, he acknowledges the inadequacy of their current strength. "Unfortunately, that's not quite enough. Time is not on our side," Noel states. "To join Regalia swiftly, we must establish a reputation even prior to forming a clan. We require a narrative, an occurrence that will capture the public's imagination," he concludes. "Leave it to me. I'll devise a strategy." The scene transitions to a young man addressing Noel, stating, "Concerning your chosen specialization as a speaker, tactical specialist, I will now commence the rank advancement rite. Position yourself here, and I will unveil new avenues for you. Seeker of greater inner strength. The light of inner wisdom shall illuminate the water's surface, creating a portal to our world, which I shall now open for you." Noel reflects internally. The tactical specialist, a rank B speaker specialization, offers a significant enhancement to cognitive processing speed, enabling real-time battle analysis and near-perfect predictive accuracy. Subsequently, Noel observes a throng gathered around Zeke in the city. Approaching him, Noel says, "Second in command of the High Dragon clan, the Empire's most formidable, it's a privilege to make your acquaintance." Zeke replies, "The pleasure is mutual. I've heard much about you as well." Internally, Noel recalls, Atri houses only 3 rank X explorers, the Seducer Lord Leo, also known as the King Slayer, the High Dragon Lord Victor, known as the Man of Beginnings, and Zeke, known as the Wild Blade. Zeke remarks, "So, you're the grandson of the legendary Overdeath." "Indeed," Noel responds, "though I bear little resemblance to him." Zeke smiles faintly and mentions a circulating rumor. "Word on the street is you eliminated the Gambino family." "You must be confusing me with someone else," Noel counters. "But you, the second in command of the esteemed High Dragon clan, going to such lengths to recruit an unremarkable explorer like myself? You've seen through my ruse," Zeke concedes. "Let me be frank, join the High Dragon clan. It's a beneficial proposition." Noel immediately declines. "I have no intention of serving under anyone." Zeke retorts, "My principle is to never waver in acquiring what I desire." "Then demonstrate this supposed exceptional strength of yours," Noel challenges. "If I am to follow someone, they must meet my criteria for strength." Atri holds 3 rank X explorers. Victor is past his prime, leaving only you and Leo. Between the two of you, who reigns supreme? If you intend to command me, I must witness proof of your unparalleled strength." Zeke responds calmly, "A clash between Leo and myself would undoubtedly result in one of our deaths. That is why such a confrontation cannot occur, and he understands this." Zeke declines Noel's challenge and prepares to depart. Before leaving, he adds, "Seek me out again when you satisfy my requirements." As Zeke departs, a group of onlookers remark, "That's Zeke, the second most powerful explorer in Atri. He single-handedly defeated a rank 12 lord in a single day." Overhearing this, Zeke turns back, clearly irritated. "Did you just refer to me as the second strongest explorer? I have never engaged Leo in combat. How can you be so certain of my inferiority?" One of the bystanders explains, "It is widely believed that Leo has vanquished numerous lords single-handedly." Afterward, Noel mutters to himself, "Being perceived as the second strongest is Zeke's vulnerability. We must establish our clan before this predicament escalates into a problematic entanglement." We observe Ligia and Alma engaged in combat training. Ligia emerges victorious, commenting, You're not well suited for a rearguard position. You're a bit too impulsive. Didn't you sense my presence in your blind spot? The rearguard's function is to assess the circumstances and implement the strategy, requiring comprehensive awareness and composure. Noel exemplifies these qualities. Alma responds, perhaps the assassin specialization is truly the correct path for me. Ligia reassures her, party equilibrium is crucial, but I'm confident Noel will find a solution. At that moment, Ophelia arrives, hurrying toward Ligia and exclaiming, it's been ages. What a delightful surprise to encounter you here. Ligia greets her warmly. Returning from an assignment? Ophelia notices Alma and inquires about her. Ligia introduces Alma as a dear friend who recently embarked on an explorer's path, mentioning she's providing Alma with foundational instruction. She introduces Ophelia as a fellow archer from their village and a member of the Winged Knights. Ophelia gestures towards her team and says, we're a quartet. The imposing spearman over there is Kim. Our summoner is Vaslav. And this is Leontius, the captain of the Winged Knights. Don't hesitate to approach us if you require assistance, as you're a close companion of Ligia's. I'd be glad to help. We explorers must support one another, especially with questionable individuals like Noel circulating recently. Hearing this, Alma tenses slightly as Ophelia continues. Apparently, Noel leads a group called the Azure Skyline. Rumors abound about him selling his former party members into servitude and having connections to the criminal underworld. The dubious tales surrounding him are endless. He seemingly has new companions now, but I wager they're just as shady. Leontius interjects, you shouldn't form judgments based on hearsay. Refrain from sharing potentially untrue information with beginners. I disapprove of speaking ill of individuals we don't know. Kim chimes in, let's get some food from the Rockbird's roost. The group then departs together. Ligia apologizes to Alma, assuring her that Ophelia is genuinely a kind individual. Alma responds, much of what she said about Noel is accurate. The scene shifts to Noel conversing with a man. The man asks, what scheme are you concocting this time? A roster of rank B parties? Surely, you wouldn't acquire that information without a purpose. Noel replies, this particular party is exceptional, both in their achievements and reputation. This profession is rife with unsavory characters. I believe these courteous and principled individuals will be quite noticeable. The man counters, in such situations, the masses typically rally behind their virtuous heroes. This one is practically a knight in shining armor, not just in appearance, but also possessing the strength to substantiate it. He might be the most proficient rank B explorer there is. Noel smirks, enough with the blatant compliments. Later, we see Ophelia celebrating with her team. She exclaims, Leontius stole the show again during that mission. His attacks were phenomenal. Leontius humbly replies, I couldn't have achieved it without you all. Things wouldn't have proceeded so effortlessly if I were alone. Kim concurs, your leadership is deserving of the acclaim. Ophelia then remarks to Leontius, that last mission, it reminded me that everyone has a flaw. Even the Empire's strongest explorers have vulnerabilities. Exploiting those weaknesses is how their smiles disappear and their masks crumble. Back with Noel, a man observes, you have a rather devious expression. Noel responds, I'm not like that righteous fellow. I won't allow anything to impede my progress. I will ascend to the summit, and I'll do it my way.